Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars.
SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. Are you an early bird or a night owl? Do you work best in the morning, or does it take much longer in the day to shake off the cobwebs and perform at your peak? As a boss, you might get better outcomes if you allow your employees to work at a time that suits their chronotype. As a productivity expert, Les Watson is always looking to make the most of his day, and as he tells Chris Ashmore, he's most definitely an early bird.
I'm the one that gets out of bed of a morning and goes, woohoo, let's go. Are you like that, Chris?
I am indeed.
So we're those people that walk into the office and go, let's go, let's go. Whereas there are others that walk into the office and say, not just yet. I haven't had 3 cups of coffee.
Right.
So notice that. Are you an early bird or a night owl? Now, some people aren't necessarily night owls, but they take a bit longer to ramp up. And in doing so, you don't give them a 9 o'clock meeting. You give them something a little bit later. If you're taking the trueness of night owl and early bird, there are those that finish their day and their thinking time gets a whole lot better after work. So they'll be doing great creative thinking at 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m. They're the true night owl. So just notice where you are. Are you an early bird or a night owl? Because as far as thinking time is concerned, if you get it mixed up, you're not being as effective as what you might like.
Obviously, there are benefits if you're a morning person to work as much as you can in the morning or do the heaviest loads in the morning, and if you're a night owl, to do the more demanding work during the evening or late afternoon. Is that right?
It depends on what you are. So if it's a morning person, they have the opportunity to sometimes get up at 4, completely no distractions, 4, 5, 6, and they're able to get a huge amount of work done with no distractions. So there's your true morning person. And again, the same for a night owl, where the thinking time for them and the no distractions happen late in the evening, where everyone else has gone to bed and they're able to get their work done later in the day. Again, no distractions. And that's not to say that the workplace is a place of distraction. We're not saying that. But notice sometimes it can be those places where you get interrupted and interrupted and interrupted and interrupted. So are there times in the day where you can think? Is it an early time? Is it a late time? What one works for you?
I had a boss once who insisted everyone start at 9 a.m, absolutely everybody, and he was an early bird and that sort of suited him, but it's also perhaps a sign of old-fashioned norms and expectations.
Yes, I understand that. I worked in an environment at one stage where that was very true, that everyone had to be in the office from 9 till 5, and it didn't work for me because I was doing breakfast seminars and breakfast networking and after-hours networking, and that needed to be factored in, and they didn't hear that. It didn't work for them. So when it comes to thinking time, it is an opportunity for the boss to look at it and go, what works for the people under my employee? So particularly nowadays with a neurodiverse workplace where we don't just have people that are coming in, we have others that work particularly well in a quiet environment. Others love the noise. So it's so different now that you need to be cognizant of what the workplace and what your workers need to be more productive.
Should that mean then that bosses allow their employees to determine when they work best? So whether that means a staggered business hours for early birds, they can start, say, 7 a.m. and finish at 2 p.m, and late risers, they start later and finish later in the day. Can that work, though, on a practical sense?
It does work, and it all depends on KPIs. Something that you and I haven't discussed is the whole 4-day working week. And that is, can you get your job done, of a 5-day job done in 4 days? And what does that mean? So you extrapolate that out into the work from home scenario and how do you enable people to work from home? And that is based on KPIs. Are they getting their jobs done in working from home? Are they ticking the boxes? Because if they're not ticking the boxes, they're not getting work done. Therefore, there's no control. However, if you can say, I've got 10 things I need you to do today, and they get the 10 things done, doesn't matter if they get it done before 9 o'clock and take the rest of the day off. Why? Because we want them to get these 10 things done, and they got them done. So that could be spend the time with the kids, go and play, whatever it might be with them, look after them, and then get the 10 things done late at night. As long as the 10 things are done, that's what matters.
Sleeping, I mean, that's all interconnected. How does sleep affect our energy levels?
Think about it. Just think about it. The times when we kind of go, I just didn't get enough sleep last night, and our energies are depleted and our thinking is not 100%. And then there are those days when you get the right amount of sleep and you wake up and you're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and your thinking is spot on. So do you have an amount of sleep that works for you? For some people, it's 5 hours. Some people, it's 6, 7, 8. But based on that, what is it for you? What is it for you? What's the ideal amount of time of sleep for you? Because the best amount of sleep for you is different from the next person. So I can't say 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours. If you can get it done in 5, then go right ahead. But there needs to be a specific amount. And most people are getting 5, 6, 7 hours of sleep per night and finding that they really need 8 and they don't realize it. So I'm saying, how can they give themselves the opportunity to sleep? For example, don't take the phone into the bedroom. Don't take the tablet into the bedroom, and don't watch that series that you're so hooked into, and actually give yourself the chance to get the right amount of sleep, as opposed to waking up going, there it is again. I didn't get the right amount of sleep for myself again.
Are you aware of any digital tools that can help us work more productively?
I'm a big one to set alarms. So are you setting alarms for yourself? For example, and this is really crazy, but do you set yourself an alarm to go to bed? I know we all set alarms to get up, but what about one to go to bed? As opposed to, I didn't get my sleep again, you can actually say, I'm only going to watch television until 9. And for some people, that's really tough. It's like, don't tell me what to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying, have you checked it out? Have you given yourself the opportunity to set yourself an alarm and go, I'm going to go into wind down mode now and get myself ready for bed? Because sleep is important.
That was the Time Lord, Les Watson. Business Essentials Daily is a SoundCartel podcast. Producers are Nick Schildberger, Chris Ashmore, Jeff Waters and myself. Technical production by Pete Letts. I'm Nicole Goodman. Thanks for listening. We'll bring you more Be Daily next week. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.